Well,
two or more are gathered, he is here. It also says that.
what does it say about our salvation if we live in a city that used to have George Tiller for 35 years, and yet the churches were silent? I know, because I've lived in this area for over a decade.
Are we called to judge another person's sin, or is that between them and God?
Well, we're called that if we see our brethren neglecting justice and mercy.
All of your brethren here, are you telling me that they have all had an abortion?
No, I'm saying that the vast majority have neglected justice and mercy because babies are still.
And you're certain of that, so you
Yeah.
are judging yourself.
I'm not saying they're not saved, but I'd say a vast majority is questionable because they're ignoring the law. What?
We're all here to worship.
I would agree with you. I agree you're here to worship, but I don't. What?
What is your end game?
To show the masses here.
Shame Christians while we're here trying to worship.
Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question?
I'm not seeing the answer.
I'm trying to answer your question, but you cut me off. You asked me why we're here. What's our end game? We're here to show the masses coming to a Christian concert, Winterjam, the Holocaust that's happening on their watch. That right here in Wichita, that the murder mill, the abortion facility over at Kellogg and Oliver, that they're still murdering babies. That after.
I think the audience that would definitely agree that abortion is wrong.
Well, we know that. That's why we're here.
I think that standing here and telling everybody that they're committing this sin and that sin and the other is going to make anybody change their mind that they don't want to worship.
Well, but how can we worship God when we neglect the commands of God? The two greatest commandments: to love the Lord your God with all your heart, strength, mind, and soul, and to love your neighbor. Hold on, ma'am. Please don't cut me off, ma'am. Please let me finish. The second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. And every child murdered by abortion, surgical and chemical, is your neighbor and my neighbor.
What about murdering their mental health when there's children holding up signs of dead babies?
So I'm sorry. Which question? I can hardly hear you. Well, it's sad that George Tiller was allowed to murder. What? Yeah, and he should have been killed the way he was because Christians could have shut down his murder mill.
Somebody else should have been murdered?
No, what I'm saying is that if Christians had obeyed God, then that wouldn't have happened. Then his murder mill would have been shut down, and he would have been in prison or executed.
You're free of sin because you're covered by the blood of Christ, right?
Well, I mean, my sins have been covered by the blood of Christ. Yes. So what's your point?
That's what I'm asking. What's your point by doing all this?
Well, I'm trying to answer your question. That we're trying to show people that right here in Wichita that they have not repented from allowing. Because I've been out to the abortion mill, ma'am, many times, and that sidewalk. Ma'am, can I finish? And that sidewalk is almost always empty. Maybe one or two people. I doubt it. Because I'm just
not seeing your end game.
Well, my end game is to preach to people that they're neglecting the weightier matters of the law. That our neighbors, our most little helpless neighbors, are being slaughtered, and nobody seems to care. How do I know? Because well, then why aren't they out at the murder mills? We could easily shut down the murder mill at Kellogg and Oliver. We could easily shut it down.
Do you think that's what you're doing right now to make that happen?
Well, I mean, we're trying to get people to care.
Well, I assure you, a lot of people do.
Well, I don't see it, ma'am.
That they're sinning and rubbing their noses and things like that are not what they are.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, ma'am.
I said telling people that they're sinning and rubbing their noses in this and quoting everything.
Well, our nose should be rubbed in it, because look what we're allowing to happen to children.
That's really sad.
Well, it's sad that we do nothing about it, nothing meaningful. I mean, so supporting a pregnancy resource center and voting Republican has for 47 years not abolished abortion. That's been proven. So we're doing something wrong. And most Christians, from what I've seen, they will not go out to the murder mills, the abortion clinics. They will not do it.
Well, and I think this is a great thing to do.
Okay.
There.
Yeah, we do it there. They were there this morning. And And I've been out there many times over the years, and it's broken my heart how empty that sidewalk is. It's embarrassing and shameful how empty that sidewalk is. And it was empty as well when George Tiller was alive. And that shows the world. I guess there's not many Christians out at this abortion mill, so Christians must not care. That's what the world says. It does. I've heard pagans, those who are not Christians, see that. Well, they see the empty sidewalk in front of the abortion mill, and they say, well, I guess it's not murder because, as the Christians say it is, because where are they? And my first time out in front of George Tiller's murder mill 11 years ago, you know how many people were out there my first time? Just one young woman, just one.
I must say, this is, there are definite audiences to preach to about that, but I think you have an audience that's pretty much going to agree with you that
we know.
is wrong.
We know they agree that that's why we're preaching to them, but we're not preaching to the choir because where was the choir this morning or yesterday morning or the week before when babies were being murdered?
Maybe they're praying and maybe they are following what God is calling them to.
To ignore mass murder?
You don't know what God's calling other people to do.
Well, surely God has called more than like half of 1% to take this seriously.
There are a lot of different routes to abolish that type of thing that maybe you don't see. Because holding a sign isn't going to make a building close.
What's that?
Holding a sign isn't going to get a building closed.
How do you know?
A lot of different routes.
How do you know? Has it been tried?
So
You get 1,000 people out there, they're going to have to shut down.
maybe prayer would lead you to alternative routes to solve that issue.
Well, pray and take action. Because the Bible doesn't say anywhere to...
Maybe there's another route. Maybe there's another, because, well, yeah, but what other alternatives are there that might be more effective than holding the sign?
Well,
it was effective and it's been quiet and people have been able to enjoy their time.
Oh, I thought you were like telling
well, why should we be able to enjoy our time when we're neglecting the greatest commandments?
Right, we're going to go get back in line.
Okay.